Howdy, folks. Welcome to this week's Ag Report. So this week, we just got back from the Texas Farm Bureau State Convention. So I thought I'd kind of share a little bit about what goes on there, kind of the major policy development part of that, and kind of what that looks like, what that means to you as individuals, and what that means to our elected officials that are fixing to start session after the first of the year down in Austin. So the convention and in the business session, a lot of that deals with resolutions. Okay. Excuse me. So resolutions start in the fall of the year, and they start with the individual member in the county. So as a member here in Ellis County, if you are having, some agriculture issues, you can talk to your local county farm bureau and tell them, hey, I've got, this issue. I'd like to, see something changed and the reason why. You submit that. All of those come down to Waco, and there is a 2-day meeting down there, kind of a meeting of the peers. So there will be folks from all over the state of Texas coming together to review all of these resolutions that come in. So some of these resolutions might be similar, and so they'll kind of condense those into one that incorporates all of the best of all of those. And so those folks look over that and they go, well, they look at our policy book from the previous year and they go, well, that's already in policy, so then that doesn't need to be addressed. Or no, we don't have any policy on that, so maybe we should. Or if it's in policy and opposed, but this person wants to be for it, then that is something that has to be addressed too. So all of those kind of get reviewed and sent to state convention. State convention we had last week. So our members get together and we review what the committee had gone over. Now, I say review because maybe you are that person that is in that county that submitted something, and maybe it got changed in a way that you didn't want, or maybe it didn't get put in there, or maybe you're wanting to change from a we support to a we suppose, or vice versa. So you have that opportunity to bring that up on the floor and speak to the convention and say, hey, I had this, and here are my reasons why. And then others that support you can speak as well. And then that is voted on. Once that convention is done, then that goes into our policy book. So we has different sections in there that are under we oppose and we support. And you may think, okay, well, that's all great. Why do you do all that? And why do we need a policy book? Well, it is good because when session starts after the first of the year, I think at this time there's already been 900 and something bills filed down there. That's a lot of bills to go through and review and to try and figure out where people stand on these things. So that elected official or his chief of staff or something like that, they possibly will have one of our policy books down there. And when it comes to an agriculture related issue, they might open that book up and go, well, let's see where the Farm Bureau feels on this. And so they can go in there, and if it's a we oppose or a we support, I was elected in 2018 as a Texas Farm Bureau state director. So I might get a phone call from that chief of staff or that elected official themselves, and they say, hey, John Paul, I see in the book here that y'all support this or y'all are opposed to this, and I've got this bill talking about X, Y, and Z. Let's talk a little further. Tell me why you support or why you're opposed. What do you think? If it's something that I can speak to, then I certainly will. If it's not, then I will look back to one of my counties that I represent, and I will find a person that directly involves them, and I'll bring them into that conversation, and we'll all have a conversation with that elected official about that issue. And so that's why that policy book is important. That's why those representation from those folks out in the country coming all the way through to that state level, because a lot of times those elected officials, they need a resource and they need a way to connect back to those folks and personally be able to figure out where folks stand on that. So anyway, so that's kind of a snapshot of what that looks like, reason behind it, and what goes on down in Austin and in their district offices out there when they have things going on and they're looking for folks to speak about those things. And that's something that I personally try and take very important. If I can speak to it myself, I certainly will. But if I don't know, I'm going to share with them, hey, I don't know. I'm not going to make something up, but I'm going to do my best to find somebody that is truly invested in that field and that can speak to that fairly on there. Maybe even a couple of people to get, a couple of different views on it. But I think that's important, that we always try and find good, valuable, reliable, honest sources to connect with, to get that information, to try and do the best we can for all of agriculture. So anyways, there's a little snapshot of what my week has looked like last week. Y'all take care now.